Hey guys, Nick here with Picture This, and today we're doing a little bit of like a FAQ kind of questions I get a lot in the comments and kind of answering them type of video, if that made any sense. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I get a lot of stuff in the comments about like Nikon D3000 questions and just general camera questions. So we're gonna take the time today to answer those. If this photo and video stuff is something you're into, make sure to subscribe and let's get on with the video. So the first question I have here is, can the Nikon D3000 shoot videos? It cannot, sadly. If you take the step up to the next newest camera in that Nikon D3000 like line, the D3100 does shoot video. So if that is something that you can afford or would like to upgrade to for video, I would recommend that. Next question here, what lenses do I use? So for the T2i that I have right here, I use the Canon 50mm, and then I also picked up a Canon 75-300 recently, and there'll be a video coming out on that as well soon. And then for the Nikon D3000, I use the Nikkor 18-55 and the 55-200. And then on this camera right here, the Samsung NX300M, I use the 18-55 kit lens that came with it. Camera recommendations to upgrade to from a D3000 is another question I got. Like I said, if you want to stay in the Nikon ecosystem, I would recommend the Nikon D3100 because it does shoot video. The megapixel count is a little higher on the sensor, and it's still reasonable price if you want to stay in a relatively small budget. On the Canon side of things, I feel like the T2i is pretty good. Make sure to be on the lookout for a review now that I've had it for a little bit and I've tested it on multiple shoots and what do I have to say about it now. So definitely be sure to check out that one. In terms of background blur, that's a question I got, is how do you get background blur? So a tip for that is, let me show you guys real quick. Let me put this lens on so I can explain. So if I just go like that, yeah, and then flip it on. Yeah, okay. Anyway, really wise in. So as you can see here, if it wants to focus, which it did, awesome. So if you see here, like right there, it says f1.8, and that is an aperture that is like wide open. So I don't know if you guys can really see it. Maybe I should like position in the light. But yeah, you can see that it's like really wide open, and that allows a lot of light to get in, and it also helps with the background blur or a bokeh. So if you're shooting at like f10 or f8, you still will get background blur, but it's not going to be like as intense as if you're shooting like f3.5 for those of you that have kit lenses, f1.8, which is what I have here, f2, f2.8, etc. Another tip I have is make sure your subject isn't super far away either, or you're not really just focusing on a whole scene. You kind of want to have your focus point, or if you have a mirrorless, just your general focus in general. I just said general twice. So just make sure you have your focus on one particular subject, and that'll allow you to isolate the background from the subject, which is what we want when we're looking at like a professional photo, and it just looks really cool and pleasing to the eye. So our next question is the best lenses for the Nikon D3000. So I don't really shoot Nikon a whole lot, so I would just recommend what I used, right, which was the 18-55 and then the 55-200. They're not really anything like super special or high end, but they performed pretty well, especially if you know what you're doing. I shot everything manual. I still shoot manual, sometimes aperture priority, but that's very rare because there's sometimes scenes where I just want that full control, and it allows me to take full control of the photo, which is really nice. So this one wasn't really like a question, but just something that I was kind of thinking based on a lot of my comments is in my Nikon D3000 video, I think it was, the deep dive one where I gave my recommendations. If those cameras I recommended were a little bit out of your budget, again, like I said earlier in the video, I would recommend the D3100 on the Nikon side, or the even T2i on the Canon side. So also for my editing software, I know I do use Lightroom, but a lot of the features and effects and things that you can do are similar, or might even be the same on other editing softwares you guys out there might have. And yeah, so you guys are probably thinking, when are you guys gonna get a review on the Samsung NX300M? That one is coming. Right now I am working on a like 4-week review, kind of more of a full in-depth, actually going out in the field and using it review on the T2i, compared to when I was just shooting for a couple minutes and just kind of testing it out a little bit here and there. So be on the lookout for that. If you guys have any more questions or anything else you would like to know, or if you want to know any tips that I have, let me know down in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this short little video. I was gonna upload yesterday, but it was a little hectic and I couldn't really get a video done. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.